Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm coming at you from my sunroom. I have never filmed in here. If the acoustics are terrible, we'll find out after I film this. So it's currently Monday night. You're gonna be seeing this on Tuesday. I've just had a work event on Monday night with a few drinks and kind of wanted to keep it going. So I'm drinking red wine on a white sofa and I'm feeling like that's gonna be a terrible idea by the end of this. But apparently this is Scotch guarded, so maybe the sofa's gonna be okay. Anyway, we are talking favorites today, and these are a bit overdue, but I just kind of ran out of steam last week with Halloween, so these are going to be my October favorites. So before we get into the makeup, I just kind of want to ask your opinion on this background versus the green one, which is in the room just over there. I think with the green background, I feel like it's very aggressive. I like it, but I feel like I often have to match my eyeshadow and outfit to the wall, which is really excessive for filming. With the white, it's a little bit easier to just wear whatever the heck I want or what I'm currently wearing that day. The only thing I'm concerned about this room is that there is a really busy street just on the other side of this camera, and it's currently rush hour. So if sound is going to get bad, it's going to happen throughout this video. If the sound is too bad, I might not be able to film in here, but I'm curious to hear what you think about the background. It's funny, every YouTuber always does this, and whenever I'm watching a video, I'm like, nobody cares. But I'm asking your opinion, so give it to me. Alright, talking about the stuff you actually care about. This month was a liquid lipstick month, and I'm going to talk about the first one that I wore a crap ton. And that is the Too Faced Melted Matte in their holiday release for 2017. This is Gingerbread Man. And I love this thing so much. So when I first bought this, I was a little bit concerned that it was going to be like brown. I'm not really into brown, but I wanted to buy it because I like their idea of a seasonal release that is just one color, and they kind of like changed the packaging so that the cap is a little bit more special, and they sent them. And I'm a sucker. And I am a sucker for scented products, you may have noticed. I love the Too Faced eyeshadows when they smell like chocolate, and Tarte has more recently started to smell like vanilla, and I'm really into it. So last year they released Melted Candy Cane and I loved it. I loved it so much. So when I heard that they were coming out with another one this year, I was like, yep, I want it. So this one is supposed to smell like gingerbread. It does not smell like gingerbread. It smells like sweet frosting with maybe like a hint of spice, but not gingerbread. That doesn't make me mad. I'm fine with the scent of it. But the color on this is beautiful. It's this kind of like rustic red brown, kind of more like a terracotta than anything else. It doesn't come off brown as much as it does more red. It's just that really vibrant rust color that is seasonally appropriate without being red. So this is kind of like the perfect spice color for the holidays without being like, I'm wearing a red lipstick. So I've been wearing this an absolute crap ton throughout October, and I really, really like the color. There's so much traffic noise out there. So I really like this one, and I'm so glad that they brought it out. The Candy Cane one from last year never sold out, and in fact I think you can still get it on Too Faced website. This one was a little bit more strange. I think it went out of stock on Sephora Canada and Sephora USA last week, but it's still on Too Faced website, so they might restock it on Sephora, but I don't imagine it's going to be gone just because last year's one did disappear. Anyway, I really like it. I think it's worth purchasing. So the next liquid lipstick that I've been wearing constantly throughout October is from Kat Von D. I'm wearing it right now. This is Damned. And it is so beautiful. Now, Kat Von D does make my favorite formula of liquid lipsticks. They are dry. Liquid lipsticks are dry. Kind of like get over it kind of thing. I know it took a while for me to get over it because I was just like, oh, like, why is it like sandpaper? This is probably the least sandpapery feel on my lips. And I think the good thing with her formula is that I don't get that horrible crusty ridge between where the lip product is and like the barrier between where the product is and my inner lip where it's still like wet and there's no product. Some formulas I feel like you get that really horrible like crusty line and it's just so uncomfortable. I don't get that with hers, which is part of the reason why I like them so much. So Damned is labeled as a black cherry color, and I agree with that. It's kind of like a dark red with a very black base to it. It does get a little bit patchy in some areas, but honestly it doesn't really bother me because it helps make the color poke through a little bit better. You can get a really dark edge around it and then a little bit more of a red tone in the middle just from like spreading it out, and I think it actually looks quite pretty. And I feel like this is so the kind of color that I want to be wearing right now in October and November. It's just the perfect shade. So I have the mini, and this came in the 2017 holiday kit. There's like, is it 8 colors in there? And this was one of them, and I wasn't thinking anything of it when I first tried it on. And I've been obsessed ever since. I think it is so freaking pretty. And I get so many compliments on this color. So many people come up to me and they're like, wow, that looks beautiful. And sometimes it's followed with, I wish I could wear that. Well, look, you can. I mean, 3 years ago, I was not comfortable wearing lipstick at all. And now look at me, I'll put practically anything on my lips. And I really like how it kind of looks with this outfit. I've kind of repeated this a few times, but like this top with kind of curly hair and the dark lips and like a red eye, I think looks stunning. So yeah, this one's a huge winner for me. You can go out and get the Kat Von D set and try 8 mini liquid lipsticks for a really good price, or you could just buy it full size because she does have this in her permanent range. The next one is a sort of favorite. So I finally ran through enough of my liquid liners where I could crack open the NYX Epic Ink Liner. So for those unfamiliar with this, this is a pen style liner with a brush tip, which means that it glides on so smooth. And I was really excited to use this because there's not that many inexpensive drugstore pen style brush tip liquid liners on the market. And in fact, a matte one doesn't even exist. So this is not matte, but this is one of the more inexpensive brush tip liners at the drugstore, I think. I don't know. I bought this at iMatte, so it might have been $8 then, but it might be $10 Canadian at the drugstore. Not positive on that number. So I really like this because it is very fluid. It is so easy to get a sharp tip. I am wearing it today. But it does something really bizarre on the inner corner of my eye. It feathers, but only on the inner 25% of my eyelid. And I don't understand. I can draw a perfect flick and there's no feathering and no bleed out. But as soon as I get to the very inner corner of my eye, I get a faint whisper of like color traveling up the veins in my eyelid. And it almost makes me sad because it's so perfect except for that one flaw. And it's not so severe that it's made me stop using it. And in fact, I will finish this all the way to the end of its run. But I just think it's so weird that it only feathers on my inner corner. And I thought maybe it had to do something with the fact that maybe my eyes were wet that day, or maybe my eyes were watering, but it doesn't matter what eyeshadow I put under it. It could be matte, shimmer, satin, foiled, does not matter. It always feathers a little bit on my inner corner. And again, it's not so bad that I would not wear it, but I just think it's so weird that it only does it there and not where I'm creating like the bigger flicks. So I don't really know why it does that. I like it enough to keep using it, and obviously it's my favorite, so I do enjoy it quite a bit, but I would spend more money to buy a more expensive product just to prevent it from doing that. So I don't know, does anybody else experience this weirdness with this pen liner? Aside from that, it is super inky, it is super black, it is not matte because a matte liner like this still does not exist on the market. I'm waiting for you, Kat Von D. You've been promising that for a year now. And it's good, but I don't understand why that keeps happening to me. So the next item I have to talk about is this gorgeous bronzer by Becca. This is part of their Sunlit Bronzer collection. I think there's 6 shades, there might be 5. And they range from quite pale to quite deep. Like that darkest shade is a beautiful red bronzer, which for me, I love red bronzers as opposed to orange. But I'm sadly not the color that can wear that. So this is the second shade up from the lightest. It's called Capri Coast. And I have worn this so much that the center pattern has worn off. And that's shocking only because I have not had this very long. But since I've had this, and this was a PR product that was sent to me, I have not used another bronzer. That doesn't happen. I love bronzer. I'm always reaching for a different one because I just want to appreciate all my bronzers. But there is something about this tone and this shade that is so right for my skin tone that I know I'm gonna look good if I put it on, so why would I reach for anything else? I don't know, I find that a little bit shocking because I always want to give love to all my products, but this one has really captured my heart. So these bronzers are not matte, which is what I originally thought when I was first looking at them when they originally launched, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, something like that. They do have a little bit of a sheen to them, but I would say that they play out more like a matte on the skin. I don't notice any flecks of glitter, and in fact there are none in this. But I don't notice like a super sheen on my skin. It just looks really, really natural and flawless, which is kind of what I'm looking for in a bronzer. I can be pretty heavy-handed with my bronzer brush, and sometimes I need something that's just gonna like pull me back a little bit so I don't overdo it. And these sunlit bronzers are absolutely that. So this is the second shade up, called Capri Coast, and there's a shade lighter called Bali Sands, which I think will suit me a little bit more in the fall, winter time. But for now, I've been really, really enjoying Capri Coast. So my last product to talk about is something that I have already loved before, and I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned a favorite, and in fact I gave it an amazing review in my foundation time trial. That is the Dermablend Smooth Liquid Camo Foundation. I have the shade 10N Cream, I believe, and this is hands down my favorite full coverage foundation. It is full coverage, but it's not so much thick and cakey that it looks like you've like spackled that stuff on your face. It's more of a natural finish, which is not to say that it's dewy or radiant. Maybe there is not a completely matte coverage in this. It might be a little bit more on the satin side of things, but it always works with my skin throughout the day. I'm never left feeling like I look like I spackled foundation on my face, which makes me happy because in general I tend to prefer sheer coverage foundation. But there's something about this one that just makes me really love a full coverage foundation. And I am wearing it today. I've been wearing it since 7 a.m. and it's currently 5:45 p.m. So I've had this on my skin almost 11 hours, and I think it's worn very well. It does let a little bit of oil kind of sink into it, but it tends to look just more natural that way. This one is totally flawless in my books. If I could recommend a full coverage foundation, it's gonna be Dermablend. They make the best stuff. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this October favorites video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, give me your opinions on this background. I wanna hear more. It's nighttime outside at this point, so you're not gonna be getting any kind of natural light in here. And I'm curious about the audio noises. I'm wondering if the traffic noises are gonna be as apparent to you guys as they are to me. I know when I edit with headphones on, I am so angry when I hear traffic noises, but I don't think everyone is as aware of them as I am. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what your favorites were throughout October. Did you love a particular lipstick, a bronzer, a highlighter? Let me know. I want to hear what you guys liked. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!